You don't get that kind of sanctification through a prayer. You realize that everything that comes out of your mouth is wretched. You do realize that, right? Let me help. We'll come right back to Jeremiah, but I want to show you because folks, this is the number one problem that people have. Their lack of understanding of the depravity, the total depravity of humanity, and their lack of understanding of the sovereign righteousness, justice, and holiness of God. That's the problem. The problem isn't with God. The problem is with humans not understanding how totally wicked and incapable they are of even conceiving in their mind of approaching a holy God. Now watch this. This is what the Bible says about us, friends. It is not a pretty picture. It is probably one of the most ugly pictures you can ever paint about anything and anyone. All right, now let's go down here. Look at what he says about us. This I testify, this is Ephesians 4. This I testify in the Lord that you, talking about a believer, this you right here is a believer. You should no longer walk. What is that? He's talking about the believer's lifestyle now. Okay? How should I not live? Like the rest of the Gentiles. Who's the Gentiles? These are unbelievers. So he said, hey, you as a believer should not mimic the lifestyle. This word walk is again talking about the lifestyle of an unbeliever. How does every unbeliever, you and me, before salvation came into our lives, how did every single one of us live? Inside the futility of our own mind. Folks, I don't know if you realize what God just said concerning us by putting that word in front of your mind and my mind. You need to look up that word and see what that means. I'm going to help you right quick. It is a constant state of progressive decay. That's what it is. God says that your mind is absolute and totally decayed. You have no capability of thinking a righteous thought. No capability of thinking a holy thought. No capability of thinking a good thought or any other adjective you want to use to describe something that would be worthy of God to applaud. None. Zero. Everything that you do and think comes from this right here. What impact does that have on an unbeliever's life? Every human that comes to this world. What impact does this right here? This is the cause of all of our problems right here. God is defining the sin nature right here. it causes us, look, to have our understanding about God darkened. That's why we cannot understand what God is doing. That's why you can't understand this book. That's why, as a believer, you have to continue to read this over and over and over again. Because as long as you're in this body, that mind of yours is not saved. God says you have to renew it. He gave that up to us, and the only way to renew it is through constant reading of this book. Now, you have a darkened understanding of what? Of God. It's not just some darkened understanding of everything. No. It's a darkened understanding of one thing. Or should I say one person? You and I have a darkened understanding of God. Do you know what that means? That simply means you cannot think like God. And if you can't think like God, you can't act like God. And if you're thinking opposite of God, you will never come to God. That's an impossibility. Why? Because everything you think about God is darkened. Why? Being alienated from something totally separated. 100%. With absolutely no access, no ability to access it in any form or shape. You and I are alienated. You're on another world. Folks, and that's the truth. You and I are over here. God is over here. We are over here with Satan, born naturally. You have to be born again to get over here. The world's, this is Satan's world, the one that we're currently living in now. This world is full of sin. This world only has righteousness. How are you going to get from here to here? How do you do that? Don't tell me you're going to get over there through some prayer. You're going to get over there through some change of behavior. The Bible says you can't even change your behavior because you don't even think you have a problem. And everything that you think concerning your problems is wrong because it comes to an understanding of God through a darkened, wicked view that comes from your father and my father, Satan, when we were unbelievers. Folks, that's the picture that God points and paints of every human that comes into this world.